Alright, what up guys? New video on the channel. This one is going to be a little different. This will be still same as sanding, but we're actually be working on a customer's car, which is a 1972 F100. We're going to be sanding the back of the cab. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so this is the customer's car. Now this is actually a mess up on our parts. So we didn't know that this bottom part right here is actually supposed to be white. We did the top, but obviously did not do this. So what we're gonna have to do is kind of cut this line right here all the way around the cab and kind of sand around it, and so we can get ready for paint. But this is essentially the truck. We started working on the chrome yesterday, kind of just getting it up and ready, and it's kind of a restoration project. So obviously that'll probably be fixed and cleaned, but it's just kind of a restoration project right now. We're getting as much done as we can on it, and this will be the next one heading out of here soon. So let me go ahead and time lapse into it, and we'll go ahead and tape all the way around the cab. Let's get into it. Alright, that'll be almost halfway on this side. Now we'll switch over to our side, and then we'll get the middle at the end. Alright, and then now we'll get to the middle of it. Alright, and then now we got to get all around the top as well. Alright, and it actually seems like we may have messed up on this because I need to go a little farther up so we don't see any of the brown. And it looks like I went over the lip a little bit, so we'll have to cut into that now. Alright, new take. Alright, and that should be it for that one. Now we'll start on to our next one. Alright, so that's it for the middle. Now we'll continue to go around the edges as well. Alright, and then now on to the sides, and we'll get a little bit of, just a straight forward right there, or the straight line, and then we should be good to start sanding. Alright, and now on to the other side. Alright, and then now we'll show you all the final product. Alright, and this is essentially the final product all the way around. I would like to get a straight line on here, but you couldn't really, it's kind of hard angles to get to. But kind of all the way down there as best I can, so I have an edge that I don't sand on to the other white. And then I'll show you the other side as well. So essentially be our product. Again, this is just kind of an edge so we don't have to, so we don't get onto the other brown or the other white. So now we can kind of go ahead and get that cab. and then we'll kind of go into a time lapse and see what we can get done, and you know, hopefully we can get it all done today. Let's go and get into it. All right, so as for scuff pad, you don't really have to wear a mask as much. It doesn't throw up as much sanding dust, but obviously we'll go ahead and get into it. Got my gloves on and the scuff pad, so let's go. Alright, now you're gonna go ahead and show you all the final product on this door as well. Alright, so this is the final product on it. Now it still has a little shine on it. I'm trying to get that off as best I can. You have to be very tedious and very careful with this because we obviously do not want to get into this clear coat right here. So you see a couple times in that video, if you could, in the time lapse, that, you know, I had to be very careful, stop for a second just to make sure. But that's essentially it right here, and then now we'll continue to go around the whole cab, the back of the cab. But it's kind of the product I'm showing y'all that you kind of want to see on this. So now let's go ahead and get to the back of the cab. All right, and now onto the back of the cab, which is also, you gotta be very careful with this as well. already made fun of you in one of my videos.
Did you really?
Yep. If you would actually watch my videos, you'd see.
Yeah, I haven't seen your last
one. Alright, so that's almost it for this side. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch out to our side so I can get a better view on that way as well. Alright, and now for this side. Alright, that's the whole back of the cab done. Now let's get this right here and I'll show you the final product. Alright, and now for this side. Alright, looks like we may have to hit this one a little more aggressive grit. They're both 320, but this one will be on paper. We need to go ahead and get out this trash because this has a lot of trash on this sail. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of these scratches that I've created. So let me go ahead and time lapse into that and we'll continue on. Alright, here's our 320 and we'll go ahead and just continue to finish it off. Alright, now we got scuff pad, continue on, and then if I need anything else, I'll continue to just go back to this 320. Alright, so it seems as if this bottom is really trashy as well. So we get the 320 and just continue to pick out any trash we can find here. head back to scope then. Alright, and that should be it. Now let me go ahead and show you all the final product. Actually, I'll blow it off first, and then I'll show you all the final product, and then we'll get into our outro as well. Alright, and here's the final product for y'all. This is just essentially what it is and what we just had done. And I'll go ahead and show you both sides. So that'll essentially be it. That's the line cut, and then now it's ready for paint. And go ahead and we're gonna get it taped up, and it'll be ready to accept the white paint. So this truck isn't far off from being out of here. This is one of the customers. So far, this is kind of what we have. Hasn't had a cut and buff yet, but will be on its way soon to having one. So now we'll go ahead and get into the outro. That's essentially just what we were doing today. All right, so that'll be it on this video. That was just more of a off-topic thing. Now that'll continue to happen. So there'll be days where we work on the Torino or Fox body or his other Torino or a customer's car. So that's just something that's needed to be done for a while. Now that's ready for paint, and that's kind of just showing what it looks like scuffed up, or how I did that to get it ready for the white paint. So that'll be it on this video. I hope to see you on the next one.